Morning guys, I hope you're all well. Put quite a bit of effort into the last game of the Premiership, so we're going to talk through the channel bets. For me, the nap of the day is Bruno Fernandes to to get his assist today to become the overall highest Premiership assist player of the year. So it'd be a great. I know his whole team are behind him, so that for me is the value for today, and I think over even money on William Hill. I know it's Sky Bet just for the assist to giving even money as well, so definitely one to consider. Now the next one that I think is I've done a £6 stake on is Jar Bowen to assist. I think it's good value and would return £20. Again, it's a game where West Ham need a result. Jard Bowen's been behind everything for them this season, so he's a big player, big name, takes corners, and I can see him being an assist. Now you could go for score or assist, but the price was a lot shorter, so that's the reason I've gone for just the assist today. Now I've put these into with a triple and a Trixie. Now this is what I'm doing for the channel. What you do is your own decision, but I've gone for the Bruno assist, the Bowen assist, and Thiago to score in the Liverpool game, because I think Brentford need to score. Thiago's been at the forefront of that, and I think for a £2 treble, I think it was a decent price. Now, playing the safe game, I've also done a £2 Trixie, which means if the two that I fancy come in, it still covers the Thiago being in there, because I think that's the riskiest one of the three. And my only reasoning behind that is obviously Thiago's been picked for the Brazil World Cup, so he's got two options. He either shows what he can do in his last game of the season, which would be a positive, or he could be mindful of not picking up an injury. So that's the only thing you've got to bear in mind as well this weekend, is the players that are playing in the World Cup. So some of them might not want, some of them are on the beach, don't want to get injured, and we know how that all pans out. So I've also done a £2 both teams to score on 5 selections, and because the prices are short, it's got to be a 5-fold. So I've gone Brighton, Man U, both teams to score, Liverpool, Brentford, both teams to score, Forest, Bournemouth, both teams to score, Tottenham, Everton, both teams to score, West Ham, Leeds, both teams to score. Now for the games that I think we can see some big goals in, I've just done a £4 Trixie, so that's a £1 staking, and I've gone for the Man U Brighton game, Liverpool Brentford, Forest Bournemouth game, and the other one that I've done as a Trixie for teams to win and both teams to score is Tottenham versus Everton. Tottenham to win, both teams to score. Burnley to win, both teams to score. Purely picked on a value of the price. And then I've gone for a Brighton Man U draw, so full-time result a draw with both teams scoring, and then Brentford to win, both teams to score away at Anfield at Liverpool. So I thought they was an interesting prices. Like I say, I've done that as a Yankee, I believe, but I will share it. So we've gone through everything else, the fixtures for today, and we've gone through the suggestions. I wish you all the best of luck and enjoy the football. Be mindful of what we've spoke about, and yeah, so there's also going to be a £3 7-fold on for the day, with it being the last game of the season. Have a bit of fun, stick a £3 7-fold on, see what we can do. We could end the season with a boom. Right guys, thank you for all your views this year on the Premier League and with the football, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now. Alright guys, let's look at the Premiership, the last game of the season. So we've got to be mindful that there's some dead rubbers. There'll be some emotional games for teams, and we've got a bit of all sorts today. So the Man City Aston Villa game, it's probably more of a no bet game for me, but if I was going to take one, I'd have Turkey to score or assist, just because I think he might start today. He's got a good record of his assists when he plays and always fancies a shot, but it's a tricky one. Man City are going to be a bit deflated. Aston Villa are on a bit of a high, so I'd probably swerve that game personally. Forest, Bournemouth, both teams score 2.5, both look good bets. I'd probably combine them both for just under even money. I could see Forest scoring at home last game of the season. I could definitely see Bournemouth scoring, probably edge towards Bournemouth, but I'm not going to back against my own team, so I'd rather just take the both teams score 2.5 and see what happens. Sunderland, Chelsea, I've gone for Sunderland double chance. Again, probably see both teams to score, both looking at the European spots, so that's one to consider for yourself. Personally, I won't be putting it in me end of the season sevenfold just because of the risk involved. Tottenham, West Ham, both fighting for survival, both need to win, so just straight home wins for them two, done with, 2's up. I think it's not a bad shout. They could both win, and then obviously one would still go down, but they've got to win. So the West Ham one, I'd edge towards Jard Bowen for an assist. I think that's great value today, so that would be me thoughts on that game. The next one and the nap of the day is Bruno Fernandes to assist. His whole team are behind him, trying to get him to be the overall top Premiership League score assist record holder. So I think that game could see goals, especially with Brighton being at home. So I do think there'll be some goals in that, but I think the Bruno to assist at even money on Sky, just on its own, it's quite good value. So the Burnley Wolves game, again a difficult one to pick. I'd probably go with the Burnley win just because of at home, last game of the season for the fans, but see both teams scoring, so probably one to swerve on a risk factor. Palace Arsenal, I'm not interested. It's a no bet game for me. It's probably the biggest dead rubber of the day for me. Arsenal might have the tails up, Arsenal might rotate the side, we don't know, so that would have to be an educated guess, but it's not one for me to play today. Fulham, Newcastle now. Fulham at home, I think have got the value, and Newcastle have been roper. End of the season, not really much for them to play for, so I'd edge towards Fulham. And the last game I'm going to mention is the Liverpool-Brentford. Now, there's a trend of the last game at Anfield being high scoring. Always remember the Stoke one that was crazy, and I think this could be something similar. So I think over 3.5 goals for Brentford that are still fighting for them European spots is a good shout. I've also gone with Thiago to, I think, that will score for him today, so that would be my angle for that game. And again, a bit of risk, but I think the only value is in the goals really, so I wouldn't like to call it either way, but I think Brentford, in my eyes, overpriced for Brentford win, both teams to score, just because it's at Anfield. If you look at the form of the teams, Brentford are actually in better form, so that would be a value angle, but that's the overall opinion from today. So that's the end of the Premiership. I hope you've enjoyed the channel this year and looking at the football. Done quite well on the football, so let's hope we can end with a banger. That's it from me, guys. So this brings us on to the final sevenfold of the year for the channel. Now, obviously, I'm advising these as individual bets on a personal stakes, but we're going to go for a big sevenfold for the last game of the season. The reasoning's been on the channel, so the first one, we're going to go ahead with Bruno Fernandes to score or assist on Sky Bet, even money. Burnley, full-time result with a 2-up win, just over even money. This is all based on value. Fulham, draw no bet. So if it's a draw, it doesn't really matter, but I think at even money, they're worthy of the win today. Liverpool, Brentford, I can see goals in this one. Brentford still fighting for the European spots. Liverpool tend to end the season with games at Anfield with a lot of goals, so I wouldn't be surprised if Brentford went on and won, both teams to score. It's quite a good value, that one, so we've spoke about that. The next one, both teams to score on over 2.5. Forest, Bournemouth. Now I'd love to think that Forest get a result, but Bournemouth are playing for European spot. I do think we'll score at home, but honest opinions, it could edge towards Bournemouth, but I'm not backing against my own team, so 2.5 and over, and both teams score seems reasonable, just under even money. And then Tottenham to win at home with a full-time 2's up, just under even money, and Jard Bowen to assist. So that's the sevenfold. Obviously massive risk today. I've done it as a super Hines because I wanted the individual selections as well, but for £3 stake, £427 would be a nice finish to the season if we can get it all right. So that's the logic behind that one.